I have been building with AI for the last 2 years now. I do not have a computer science background, and today I'm going to show you a few apps I've made over the last couple of months that I vibe coded. Some of these I made just for myself, just for fun. Some of them I actually pitched to clients, and others I did just to challenge myself. So I'm hoping by the end of this video, you can see that anyone, including you, can build real custom solutions to your problems. What's up everyone? It's been a while. I go by TM Shaz. I've not made a video in quite a while, but since then I've been building a lot of stuff and creating things with AI, especially with all the upgrades we've been getting the last couple of months. I wanted to make this video today to show you a few of the things I've made. I am hoping some of this stuff inspires you to actually go out and create your own solutions. A lot of the times I'm asking questions like, this process is super annoying. Why is this still being done manually? Or I don't want to pay for another subscription. And that's usually how my projects start. I'm also open to getting in touch with people and working with those who are looking to improve their business operations. So I'll leave a link to my website down below. But let's not waste any more time and let me show you some of the apps I've made. Starting off with number one, this app is what I call a feedback operating system, or FOS. An FOS is what I designed to be a centralized platform for a business to issue out feedback forms and a dashboard that logs and analyzes all customer sentiment feedback data. What I'll be demonstrating in this video is a demo/proof of concept version I pitched for a client. I later built them a custom app around their brand and their design philosophy, as well as their private data, so I'm not going to be showing that in this demo. So the idea came about when I was working with a hospitality consultant who was working with this business. They told me that they struggled with auditing a client's customer sentiment, and our conversation led to the idea for this FOS. So how does this app work? It starts out with a feedback form, like any other, but with a twist. I realized even in my own experience, being asked to complete a feedback form was a chore. It was a boring list of questions and the same usual rating scales. What I added new was that a client can actually leave a voice note that is then transcribed on the spot. The customer can review the recording and transcription, have the option to re-record or submit the feedback, with the remaining list being left optional to complete. Once submitted, the feedback is stored and can be viewed in the dashboard. The dashboard consists of a variety of different metrics on customer feedback, and the user can see the overall trends on logged sentiment. They can see which of their products or services are doing well or not. Again, this was just a demo version. The actual version has the brand's identity and design philosophy integrated. And they have multiple feedback forms that can be accessed via online links or QR codes on the site. I also use Supabase for the backend of this app. That is where all their data and user information is stored. Another cool feature I added is the AI chatbot. The AI chatbot can be accessed in the app dashboard. It is connected to the database and the user can actually talk to their data. For example, the user can ask, what has been the trend on sentiment over the last week? The AI bot, powered by Gemini, will have an organized and structured set of customer feedback data and respond to any questions, queries, or audit analysis being asked. I think this is a very cool way to really get a better understanding of how your business is performing with qualitative data on feedback. Moving on to the second app I want to show you, Call of Study. This app was a challenge I did for fun. It was to show people how I can make an app on the fly, and I built this in literally 1 hour. I documented the whole process on TikTok, which you can check out at TM Shaz. The idea was, if I were to create something for a high school student, how could I incentivize studying? I then took inspiration of applying gamification to study tracking and added a Call of Duty theme to it. The result is the study tracker with XP progression that tracks and logs a student's courses for an academic year or semester. I kept the build super simple for this challenge, so it is a complete local-based app with no backend storage. It's all stored on the device. The student would open up the app in the beginning of their semester. They would add all the courses that they're studying for and also set a study time goal. So this could be anywhere for 30, 40, 50 hours or whatever the student wants. Whenever the student logs a number of hours into studying for a particular course, they're rewarded XP that contributes to their overall level. The max rank is level 100 and is divided between all the registered subjects. This was a fun build to make, especially because I did this entire thing in front of a camera. This is also an open source project that can be found on my GitHub, and you guys can also download this and check it out. Maybe install it for your child. Now the third app I want to show you is something I call an air freight quote calculator app. And this is something I came up during work I was doing in a logistics company. I saw an opportunity for like a small manual process being done with agents. It involved punching in calculations for air freight forwarding across the world and then writing up quotes for the clients. I saw the process and immediately I was like, there has to be a better way of doing this. So I worked with the crew on identifying exactly all the steps in the quoting process and keeping note of all the margins, surcharges, dock fees, etc. Then I was able to create a tool that you're seeing right now. It's also a super simple yet effective build. You plug in all the flight details. You can also add in flights where required. The user would then plug in all the costs that calculates the volumetric and actual weight. The higher result is what is considered to be the chargeable weight. The person also adds any variable costs, including the company's margin rate, which is hidden in the quote. Then the users can get a copy-ready structured quote in a particular format that can be issued to the client. So this is a workflow that usually takes a few minutes to do, and now it's done in under an hour. With multiple quotes being sent in every day, this tool proved truly helpful and fast. So this next app is something special. I built this purely for myself because I didn't want to pay for another subscription. This is what I call Ultra Instinct Operating System, or UIOS. And yes, this is named after Goku's mastered Ultra Instinct. I looked at every fitness app that I wanted but never paid for, and I recreated all those features into my own app. And as you can see on the main dashboard, I see my overall metrics where I'm tracking all my workouts, my rest days, my steps, my sleep, and my overall mood. I have a couple of different tabs. The workout tab is where I can either start a new workout log, or I can go through different templates and pick a selected workout based off of that. In the calendar tab, I can actually go through all the various dates where I've plugged in data, and I can check what workout I did that day, just when I want to see what my last working set was, the weight, the reps, etc. In the library tab is where all the different workout exercises are located, and it's a complete list for different body parts, and I can add more as time goes. The progress tab is where I just see my overall metrics over the course of me feeding this app data. I get different metrics based off of my goals. I can see my overall consistency. In the analysis tab is where I get into the nitty-gritty of what I'm doing. I can get a sense of my workout distribution to see if I'm working on upper body a lot more than my lower body, which I'm trying to keep accounted for. I can see if there's any patterns that are being detected in my workouts. The check-in tab is basically where I just plug in my current weight, the steps I did for the day, and the sleep I got the night before, and I just adjust that with my mood ratings. So I have my overall energy levels, my mood for the day, and my soreness, which is if I'm feeling super fatigued or not. The goals tab is where I can actually input a goal, such as I want to hit 15 clean pull-ups. And the app is going to always track whenever I log a workout. If I've done pull-ups, it'll register it in the back end, and it will contribute to what my highest reps are in a single set. And then last but not least, I added an AI coach. Now what's different from just going on ChatGPT and getting fitness advice from there, or on Claude for example, is that you always have to kind of remind GPT of the context of your previous workouts or how things are going. It's different in this situation because the AI is directly connected to the Supabase account the same way it was with FOS, and it's actually reading all my metrics. So if I ask it, in this example, I asked it what was my overall trend the last week, it's going to go into the database, read my workouts and my rest days and my recovery, all the metrics that I record, and give me proper responses based off the data. So it's actually super cool that I have a bot that actually knows what I've been working on the last couple of weeks or months and can tell me where I'm lacking and give me better and more informative suggestions for improvement. And now for the last app I want to show you, it is the first app I ever made, which is Yappify-ai. I've actually recently gone through a whole rebranding and revamp of the app itself, and I'm actually going to be doing another video very soon going for a more in-depth dive of what's new, but I just want to briefly talk about it. So Yappify-ai was my answer of having my own speech-to-text tool when many AI models did not have that feature. The idea came about when speech-to-text was only available on the phone version of ChatGPT, and it just made my workflows of prompting very slow at that time. Now, every other AI model has speech-to-text. There's a new problem that I discovered. When I'm working on Cursor or various AI models and I'm working on long tasks, I'm afraid to hit my usage limits. And most of the times when I'm yapping my prompts, there's a lot of filler words in between that is just noise. There's a lot of ums and buts that I'm like cutting right now in this video. And I tend to also repeat myself many times, or I backtrack on what I'm saying. So the prompt enhancer feature with Yappify, I think, is what sets this app apart from all the other speech-to-text tools. And there's a second thing that I believe that sets this tool apart from everything else. It's the fact that this tool uses a BYOK model, which stands for bring your own key. You have to bring your own API key to use this, and I've made this app entirely for free. How is this for free? Because this is powered by Google Gemini, which is a shift from the old Yappify, which was on GPT, to now the new Yappify, which is on Gemini. Google actually offers a free tier usage to their API, so anyone with a Google account can obtain their API key for free, and they do not even need to put their billing information into their account. With that free API key, you can plug it directly into Yappify. You can choose to save it or not on the browser. It does not get sent to any servers. It's completely safe, and you can enjoy speech to text, making sure you communicate with your AI models with the perfect prompt every single time, completely for free. You can actually try this out now, and I'll leave a link down below. And everything I'm showing you is essentially very close to completion. It is practically completed. I'm just touching up my landing page because I want to do a big post about this soon. And there's a lot more features to this app, which I'm going to be showing in the next few days. I just wanted to show this app on this video because this is the app that started this whole journey for me. And it's my gift to the world. It's free. I've figured out a way to make something like this and condense it down so that everyone can try it. And I think it's a very useful app. So those were some of the apps I created over the last couple of months. And I've learned a lot over the last 2 years. I had no structure when it came to starting a new project, but as every project I pushed myself through, I got to learn more and more about how everything fits together. So I would say that when I take on a new idea, I do tend to think more like a builder. At least that's what I think. I can break an idea into databases, into different features, and the whole user journey behind it. I do understand the development time a lot more, and I'm more realistic with my plans now, especially as a one-man army. And in the past, I was strictly conservative with my AI use, meaning I was always with GPT, but now I've had an opportunity to work with the big three, as I call it, GPT, Gemini, Claude, as well as some of the Chinese models like DeepSeek and Qwen. Every project I've done has made me better, and I really encourage people to just experiment with this technology and build things for yourselves, because I do think it is a very important skill, the way we're going about, the way the world is headed. Yes, people say that AI is super expensive. However, with the apps I've shown you today, I've actually proved that you could build all of these things at very low cost. My stack for most of these apps actually starts with Google AI Studio, only because it's free and you could just turn an idea into a proof of concept. And from there, once I get it to a state that looks decent, I actually move it on to Cursor, Claude Code, and Codex. So I have all three, and I like to move between the three just to manage my usage, and I'm very conservative with how I spend my tokens. So if done correctly, AI is actually not that expensive, and there are a lot of cheap alternatives. Everything that you see on the internet is just hype most of the time, or fear mongering, but regardless, I think everyone should dip their toes into this technology and give it a shot. So thank you for watching. Those were 5 apps I made, and I'll see you all next time when I launch the open sourced version of Yappify-ai. Thank you very much.